Either way, you're going to have to hire a structural engineering firm to do design. It's not something for amateurs.
I think you also have to ask the question, how much you're willing to spend at all on that building.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so part of me is thinking Anderson Steel Buildings in the back of my mind too. I mean, if it's at that point, then.
So the other part.
In either case, it's an extra.
So the question is, will the other fire truck and e-station fit into that building?
That is the next question. Right.
And then, obviously, then we just switch the, until we figure it out, if that comes.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have anybody here from the fire department.
The answer is yes. So I'm told.
It'll fit, that the old one will fit.
I already asked.
Is there a reason you wouldn't put that? I mean.
Well, no, because that new one was supposed to be down here.
Oh, I know it wants to be there, but will it fit up in the one up there?
Yep.
And would there be a reason? No.
The only reason I'm told they want this one raised is because when they have a call and someone comes in to cover, they can't put our guest truck in the building.
And the new truck.
Truck.
That's what I was told.
That's part of it. And the new truck.
Yeah.
But they could put it up there if that one was out.
But if Walter comes over, they can't fit in that truck.
Yeah, it's the station they cover, not the town truck.
So anyway, that's the story as far as I've been able to.
Why, thank you.
Area.
Thank you, sir.
Is in your capable hands.
For our hands. We'll leave it at that. We hope we can feel free to call upon you in the future.
Oh, that's a problem. It took me a few days to get my mind back.
I'm being the cobwebs out.
Oh, I've been doing this for 20 years. You don't do things for 20 years, you kind of forget some of the stuff. But it does come back.
Well, that's why we broke in with a very old set of plans. We didn't want to throw anything new. These are yellow prints. Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much the story in my situation.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Violence. Shoot.
Okay, I have a few things to go over. As you know, we had to do the water pump, which was $1,500, which doesn't put me over the budget, but it means I spent $1,500 out of the plumbing budget that I wasn't expecting. So we've come up a little creative here. The budget, we had $1,500 put aside for fire pits, and Steve was able, we just went with the cheaper ones. We went and picked up the cheaper ones, because you had issued a check for it, and the rest of the money we spent on a paddle board, which is needed for the lifeguards, which we were not aware of and didn't have.
Is that a requirement or?
It's something highly suggested if you're going to have. The boat with the paddles getting out to somebody that's drowning takes a while. A paddle board if you're a lifeguard. Yes.
Well, if they can cling to the paddleboard, people that you're after,
Yeah.
easy to grab and haul them into a boat.
The board made a decision to do that we needed at least one, even though we have two lifeguards, because that was real important. A little over a week, we'll be open June 1st. June 3rd, we're going to have about 100 kids there on the 3rd, on Friday, for Viola's Pool Fun Day. And Viola's Pool has Walpole Creamery coming in to put on an ice cream thing. And so that's pretty exciting. The budget also, we're looking at other costs. Instead of doing the 100 chairs, that was going to cost $1,500, we're going to do 50. We found them a little cheaper. So we are trying to bring some of those costs down, because here we are, already spent money before we even open the doors.
So this is for the ice cream social or just?
No, I'm just saying the chairs. we were getting more chairs, because our chairs are so old and we've got all these wedges.
Replacing the existing
Right.
chairs.
And speaking of that, we'll have to use some of the old chairs, because we have a large wedding this weekend, has parking lot and everything, because I haven't gone up and looked. Was that all taken care of? Or do I need to go and get back to, they're starting to arrive on Friday, so it needs to be done before Friday.
What were we doing with the parking lot?
The parking lot is supposed to be kept mowed for parking, because there's just not enough parking right now, there at Vilas. And we're gonna have a lot of people.
The spot up by the green place, spot up
Okay,
Yeah.
on the right-hand side.
okay.
And then don't they take care of the circle too, keep that nice and?
Yep.
That's supposed to be,
I don't know that. So I can't-
yeah, all that area is supposed to be taken care of. We have,
Do you ever check with David as to what his schedule is, or when he's gonna be doing
I don't,
things?
I only converse with you.
Because a lot of this could take place between you two and save us a lot of involvement.
We have no power over other agencies, that's the problem.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
sure,
if you're
no.
saying power.
You know, we just can't, we can't go to different departments and put,
I don't want our
Obligations,
department heads
no.
to feel like they answer to the Vilas Pool Board.
No.
In the same sense, if all we're doing is going, yep, okay.
But on the other hand, other groups in the town do directly ask David to help them.
We used to.
For example,
Well, an example would be when the Friendly Meals lost several hundred pounds of food in their freezer, they contacted David to have him help them remove the food and bury it in the field. Now that would be an example of where we don't have to get involved. They can take care of it.
I didn't know the Friendly Meals were part of the town.
they're not part of the town.
neither is.
Well, that's just an example.
So that's kind of a poor example though, because
So is the
David does a lot for them on town.
Yeah,
They're friendly terms.
I would think that Vilas should be able to have pre-approval from the select board that David would do these items, but there's no reason for Vilas to have to come through the select board every time they want to have a schedule change.
I think you're gonna find the only direction that they're going to do this every week or every 2 weeks.
Right. So, no, I agree.
If we could be set up on a schedule that he mows
We asked this months
every
ago.
2 weeks or every 3 weeks.
Last year, we
Yeah.
went through this. We went through this mowing thing over there last year.
So
Why
how
do we have
about,
to hash it out again this year?
I will move that we instruct David to have DPW or Parks and Recreation or whoever it is, do roadside mowing over there, parking areas. Am I missing anything?
No, I just don't want to see it that specific. I think David's role, and we can go over this even in more detail, but the Vilas Pool is owned by,
Let me continue my motion. Every 2 weeks throughout the months that Vilas Pool is active.
so if you don't get
So
a,
is there a second?
If
And
you
then we
don't-
can discuss it.
if you don't get a second, then we get to drop the motion.
If there is no second.
You can-
All right, so now let's discuss this. So I understand your point of view.
I don't want to have to babysit these departments, and I'm not saying that I'm babysitting anybody. I just, that they should be able to work together within the parameters or the confines of what we agree or don't agree to. And they're not doing that.
I agree.
Then you gotta direct them.
This is
Well,
where
that's
I'm going
why
to
we
agree.
have a discussion.
The library, Parks and Recreation, they don't go to David and say, hey, my lawn needs mowed this week. No, it's automatic.
Right.
He has it set up that he automatically mows this green
Except for this week.
once a week or whatever it is he mows it. And he mows the lawn once a week. He mows the historical society.
But he won't,
Whatever.
but he won't mow Vilas.
But
And we asked, we
And
started asking
we
over
ended
2 months ago, we'd just like to be on a schedule, it needs to be done. That's all we asked. At that point, we should not have to be communicating anything further, because that's all we asked. There's actually a lot more that technically Park and Recreation could be doing, according to,
Well, there is more that you asked for. You asked for the field and back of the bell tower.
we did ask for more.
Yeah. And you asked for the lawn to be
But a
removed.
couple months ago, that's not what we
Oh, I
asked
see
for.
what you're saying.
since that time, I have mowed 35, 40,
Wait,
Steve,
about 75% of that field back there with a riding mower.
Still needs brush.
And I have just a little bit more that I'll finish up this week.
So,
With a riding mower, which took me about 10 hours all told.
you're retired.
Yeah. I enjoy it though, you know.
very well.
I'm uncomfortable with having, any group just go to our employees and say, we need you to do this, and this needs to be done by a certain date. I would rather provide that broad direction. And I could even say, and give them a 1 week leeway either side of it if it rains, or if it's really dry and it doesn't need it, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
in other words, you don't want to give up control. I understand you don't want to.
No, it has nothing to do with control.
It's, if they're gonna do all these lawns, do those too.
Right. And
They don't have a problem mowing the east fire station.
and there's,
Or
Yeah,
Alstead Center.
there was garbage that they should have picked up for almost 3 months sitting out there as they drove by.
let's put it this way, the responsibility to keep Viola's pool looking good on the parts of the road that are not the parts that you guys maintain is our responsibility. It's not David's responsibility. David
It's the
just
town.
has to be in the position
Yeah.
where that's who we would task it with. So the responsibility falls on us. If we're not doing our job, then we need to come up with a way to make sure that our job gets done. And I just don't see how we would do that without doing a simple thing, is saying, you need to add this to your set of tasks, and we need to hold you accountable because we're accountable for the town.
Well, when you and I went up there last Wednesday morning and stood with David and talked to him about the responsibilities that he had, we outlined it very clearly.
Yep.
And he said he was too busy.
Yes.
He said he didn't have the time, he needed more help, and there wasn't enough money in the budget.
Yep.
All of these problems he put back onto us.
He started out there, and then by the end of it, he was saying, well, I'll get up there, we'll get it done. So I don't know. How it gets done
Is irrelevant.
is irrelevant. If it becomes demonstrable that he cannot accomplish the task that we have given him to do with the amount of people, and we're satisfied that the cause of this is he is short on people, then we either have to pull back on what we're asking him to do, or we need to get more money to fund it. Those are the two choices, right?
No.
Well, we get somebody who can do the
You
job.
got more people working for
There you
them
go.
than any town around
This
here.
is crazy.
Right.
Well,
Which is why I don't
he's
feel
more
bad
than
about
just
taking the
highway.
impact I am.
No, I know.
Bobby, that's a parking lot. How often do you think it needs to be mowed? Every other week?
At least every other week,
I'd say every
unless
other
grass grows, it has to look nice. We're taking care, basically, the park, the actual land should be taken care of by the town, but we are taking care of that part.
Maybe we need as a town to get a list of everything that David's responsible for and find out if, we're mowing these just because, we've done in the past, or are we just mowing, look at what, and prioritize what needs to be mowed.
Yeah, we have 5 weddings this summer, which is just about every weekend.
So,
And so, those weddings have got more than 10 cars, which is about what we have room for, without going into the other parking areas.
I'll be out there tomorrow, I'll see if it's been mowed. Maybe we're just discussing something, maybe he's already mowed it.
That's all right.
Because I didn't go out today. But it does need to be done before Friday.
So, you would like it to be done before.
Well, since I've asked over a couple months ago to
I
have.
understand. I understand.
We got 100 people coming.
Can't go mow.
I agree. I have no no good answer. I have no argument for you there.
And we
They were on me.
don't have any more volunteers for all this.
You were.
I can't get my tractor across the bridge.
You spend a lot of your part-time help this winter doing, I'm not sure what.
Right.
Now you're crying for help, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have no sympathy.
But I have no sympathy either, but it's not a matter of replacing somebody. It's a matter of working with them to get them to comply with our wishes and our recommendations. And I don't want to go too quickly into an area that you can't pull back on. I want to try and work with this guy.
I understand. I don't disagree with you there. But I do think that if he is unclear about what we
couldn't have
need,
been clearer when you and I went up there and talked.
right, but maybe we need to write it all down on one sheet of paper and say, these are the things. Or let's sit down with you and let's go through all the things you do, and then we're gonna add to this what we expect you to get done. And we go from there. Show us how this gets accomplished. Or show us how it can't be accomplished. And if it can't be accomplished, then we're gonna ask some more difficult questions.
In David's defense, in all of the work that he does to the town of Alstead, he really, this is actually a very small, it's an important part, but it's a very minor part of his whole area of responsibility. And you've got to be prudent in not cutting the tree down when you just want to trim the branches.
Yeah.
I
He
get
does
that.
his work, he does a heck of a lot of work.
Yeah.
Tremendous amount of roads, he got a lot of this.
Is there any way that we could, the manager, Ashley, that she's there all week, is there any way that you could split those up, that she can do,
And taking care of the entire park inside,
is what she does?
There's absolutely no reason Brad cannot mow those lawns.
yeah.
If he
So-
can't, let's get somebody that
It's
can.
a 15-minute
Take those
job.
wages, pay somebody. Take David's park and recreation wages away from him. Pay somebody.
They used to have time to do it.
Maybe that's it.
When it was
I mean,
paid,
that's foolish.
when it was paid as a subcontractor, and the town employees did it, but they got paid separate from their paycheck. They had time to do it then.
But not if they're.
But since that got taken away, they don't have time. Nobody has time and wants to be involved. So, I'm not being mean, I'm just asking parking lot to decide.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I like that. And it's a step in the.
So we're basically halfway through the year. And I would consider that,
Parks and Rec, well, that doesn't really start yet. Is that what you're looking at? It really doesn't start yet until now anyway, so can't really go by halfway through the year. We're at 46%.
Must be paid 8.
$287, $9,000 probably not.
How much of David's salary are we considering
We haven't discussed that.
Department of Public Works?
You know, I think the idea is good.
Recreation.
I didn't actually, the idea is good because we can tell David that if he doesn't want to do
Parks and Rec.
the Parks and Rec, we can remove that portion from his duty list and take the money with him. But to actually do it tonight without having any input.
No, I'm not gonna do it tonight.
Okay, I misunderstood you.
His salary isn't in this, it's your two part-time, it's your
I
one
realize
full-time
that,
and
but his salary, part of it is Parks and Recreation, he's overseeing it. If he's
then
not gonna oversee it,
And
somebody's gonna stand up and money.
and transfer station.
Yeah, that's three departments, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that part of his salary broken down as a Parks and Rec?
It's not broken
No,
down,
it's not broken down.
but it was considered.
It could be.
Oh, so that's not David's number, that's
No,
That
that's
is
only
part-time.
for,
And his salary did
for
not
that.
that's a full-time
go
or part-time.
down, the
Full-time or
earnings
part-time?
took over that other for a while.
It's some amount of hours.
So he's got money then, when he said he doesn't have any money, he does have money in a line item called Department of Works Parks, Town Wages under Parks and Recreation, where he could hire part-time people to go up there and mow that lawn.
Yes.
They come out of that line, yeah.
Yep. Or take the whole shoot match, everything that's on spent, and say,
Or how about take the guy that sucked up all the part-time wages and make him work on the Parks and Recreation stuff?
I like the
What a
product.
novel idea.
I like the idea of taking all this out and putting it out for bid and saying, would you do this for this?
That's what we've already talked about.
Okay.
But then are you going to cut the wages back on the other end?
Oh, no, we couldn't do that.
Well, see, the hours that they're spending on Parks and Recreation.
Well, the problem is right now is, Obama has directed the Labor Department to mess around with this overtime with, salaries, so, he's right on the line.
Right, it's just gonna.
Is overtime guaranteed?
If he's under a certain amount,
Is overtime guaranteed by anyone though? No. If you hire them at 40 hours a week,
They
then
say,
you only tell them to work 40 hours a week.
oh, I see what you're saying. If they work more than 40, then it's
yeah,
guaranteed.
right.
However, you tell them you don't work over 40 hours a week.
Well, then you're never gonna get anything done, because they're not gonna work the first 30.
Then you got a serious problem.
I've been on that side of the fence before.
If I could also make another recommendation is and since David's coming in the first of the month, is we talked about having him make a list of priorities of what we can do next month. And then we can actually look at what he's done and we can review it easier than I graded and I did this.
Listen, Wednesday morning, Chris and I went up there and we gave them 4 directives. We told them to take the log off the dam, we told them to mow the field that, like we tried over here mowing. We told them to, get an estimate for clearing the gate, or work some sort of a plan together for clearing the gate so that we can get it shut. And we told them to put the safety wire up on the dam. And he told us he didn't have time.
In his defense, at this particular moment,
He's right.
he is right, because he's trying to get the Walpole Valley Road and the March Hill Road ready for paving. They're coming in after the week after Memorial Day, so.
He also said he didn't have money enough in the budget.
Well,
He
here's
also
that.
said he needed more help. And that was the fourth thing that he said.
It's not like you didn't have a heads up that we were gonna be coming along and be asking these
Oh, absolutely, I'm not defending.
No,
I'm just
what I'm saying.
I know what he
Well,
was doing.
somebody
I feel terrible at the last minute having to ask, but
He's my go-to
basically,
person, I just know that.
he decided he didn't want to do it. So, at this point,
I'm just gonna take that money and
Back
put it
to-
somewhere else. And try to-
What you do, Chris, is you tell him that if he doesn't do what we're asking him to do, then we will take that money and
I
do
don't
this.
disagree.
Then you have a 50-50 chance of getting compliance. If you just do it without giving him an opportunity, then you're gonna have a war.
My bigger concern is that if we were to just remove $15,000 a year from DPW budget, they're busy right now, but they get everything done. Will they be less busy?
Oh, if they don't have to do Parks and Recreation?
Yes.
No, they won't be able to.
Right. We will still hear that they are just as busy. There will be no reduction in
No reduction.
cost, no savings elsewhere. And
That's
that to
like
me,
hiring another person, in a way. If you're not taking it off the other end, the 15,000
the
off.
15,000 in wages comes from this line item in Parks and Recreation. But what I'm saying is that everything else should operate much more smoothly, and there should be some, it's not a dollar for dollar savings on the other side, if I were talking about any group. But if I've taken some of your responsibilities away, then I should see efficiencies over here. I should see savings.
Right, and this is what we talked about, it was with the roadside mowing, of getting some in here, and that's why we allotted so much money to do the roadside mowing to help release some of that pressure off. And we also talked about getting quotes on what it would cost to mow this whole place.
And we also
Oh.
hired somebody to do all the grading that we didn't before.
Well, you know, that's true. If you're looking for efficiencies in the highway department, you can start right with the schedules that have been developed. And I don't know if we need to go over this tonight. We probably should go over it when David's here. But just offhand, there's a half an hour every day that let me start it this way. He doesn't give his help a half an hour for lunch, which means the help still eats, they just eat on Alstead time. So you've got probably 500 hours a year that we could garnish from the existing personnel setup, that he would have more than enough time to mow whatever you guys needed over at Violet's pool.
Yeah, Michael, I have a question. Out of the Parks and Recreation, how much have you spent so far in mowing all these fields and, what he's mowed? How was that divided? Yeah, how was that divided?
I can tell you, it's
So
been
that all
spent.
chalked up to David's time? Or are they actually on a different clock
It's a
when
different,
they're down mowing?
yeah. Right?
It goes to different.
Can,
Okay.
I think this should be just maybe discussed when David's here,
Yeah.
and can we move on and get through this file stuff? I'm only talking about one mow.
We do have a motion. The motion was whether we could ask David to take care of the roadside mowing, parking lot mowing up there every 2 weeks with a week's leeway either way due to
But we
weather.
really can't wait 2 weeks on this one.
Understand?
Okay.
So that was the motion on the table.
Is it something we can do next week with David here?
Yeah, and if we want
It
to,
needs to be done. It needs to be told.
We went, I sent you the email. We went, we stood in front of him, we laid it out. He said, Chris came away with the idea that David was compliant. I didn't come away with that.
The average person has to be told something 7 times.
Well, then we got 7 weeks.
all right. Kelly, can you get in touch with David tomorrow and find out if he has any issue with getting all that mowed up there
This weekend.
by the end of the week?
Yeah. Yep.
And can fire off an email to the three of us and let us know what he said.
Yep.
We'll take it from there.
So I do have some information about the log on the gate. He and Mike spent 3 hours digging that up. He did contact the Fuzzy Brothers. It'll be $5,000 to $6,000 to dig that out, so the Violet's pool gate will open and close. The DES permit is still in good standing.
Yes, and we probably need to be putting in for the 2017 flushing permit. Because that permit is only for last year and this year. And they usually do that
2 years, so we need to renew it.
And then, before Steve talks about the dam, you guys are aware that, or I think all 3 of you are aware now, that the state did not stop us from swimming. And it's a safety thing, but last year we had this problem. I don't feel that we have a right to tell anybody they can't swim, especially if they're coming from the other side. How do you guys feel about that? Our lifeguards are gonna be going
Last year
in. They're
we
going to
were
be
told-
practicing with their paddleboard because they need the experience.
Last year we were told we weren't allowed to put a sign up, no boating or swimming from the point, which for 100 years, it has always been there when I was growing